Hi there. Hello. I'm back after a month away from practice now. I'm back and we're starting the month of Santa Muerte in the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple. Thank you so much. There were quite a few of you who were cheering me on when I was traveling, and I've got a few more sets of photos to share, but I'm home now. It was an amazing, amazing adventure. And I look forward in the future to sharing it with some of you. If you can come with me, I do plan to go back to Greece. I do plan to go back to Turkey, possibly as soon as next year. Thanks for welcoming me home. Today's practice, I'm just going to be honest, I'm jet lagged, caffeinated, and flying without a net. So we're going to do our best today. Um, but it feels like forever since I've done practice. But I'm hoping that, like riding a bicycle, after you've done it so many times, it'll all just easily come back. And if it doesn't, I'll just have to try and refer to my notes, which are somewhere. Um, Truly, it was an amazing journey, and I learned so much experientially about the goddesses that I work with in my mandala. And I really look forward to sharing more of that felt learning with you as we're going forward in this coming year. And oh, yeah, Kirsten says, I've missed practice. Me too. I've missed it too. So all I can say is I still have a suitcase missing. My altar is a mess. I'm still awake from like 2 until 6 in the morning, and all is well. All is well. So I don't have my oracle deck that we're going to be using for Santa Muerte. We're going to be working with the Jade Oracle this year by Veronica Iglesias and Anne Key. But I haven't been into the office to get that. So you'll have to forgive me. It'll be here probably tomorrow. But today I have a deck that we can use. And let's dive in. Madre mía, Santa Muerte, ante las dificultades de la vida, ayúdame. En mis desaciertos, ilumíname. En mis soledades, acompáñeme. En las horas difíciles, fortaléceme. En más tentaciones, defiéndeme. En más penas y tristezas, consuélame. Con tu inmenso poder, protégeme. Con tu infinito amor, ámame. Con tu gran bondad, mírame. Con tu mano providente, guíame. Así sea por siempre. Amén. And we're going to draw a card today from the Priestess of Light Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor and Kimberly Weber. It's a new oracle I'm previewing, and then tomorrow I'll have the Jade Oracle, which is based on Aztec mythology and is really wonderful, scholarly, and spiritually satisfying deck. Our card for today is hostilities, conflict, and unrest. And that is certainly somewhat of a grim welcome back, but let's see what it has to say. Let's see here how to find it. Page 88. The priestess in this card kneels next to a panther with her arms raised to the moon, drawing on the power of the light she holds in her hands. The panther is growling, baring its teeth in fierce protection, warning any intruders to beware. There may be a person or situation in your life that is abrasive or upsetting in some way, or perhaps something is coming in that makes you feel defensive. Either way, this card is telling you gather your resources and turn to the guidance of your own divine light and courage. Become more conscious of the people or situations that zap your energy or your sense of power. There may be a family member, a coworker, or a draining obligation that has taken its toll on you. Even if it has gone on for quite a while, it's finally time to choose to protect yourself and your own life force energy. This choice may cause others to become upset, even hostile. You might be tempted to diffuse the conflict by giving in, but that old unhealthy pattern must be resisted. You don't have to give in to the habits of fear anymore. So don't shy away from conflict or unrest. You deserve to act on your own behalf. Be brave in the face of confrontation and know that you are capable of seeing it through to the other side. You have that fierce determination and strength of the panther within you, and the light of divine assistance is always at hand. And the affirmation for today: I'm strong and resourceful in any situation. I believe in myself and my ability to take charge. This is a very valuable card, I think, for probably quite a few of us. How many of us have been feeling that um, Saturn, Pluto, new moon energy this past week? It's been pretty intense. I know that for me, it's meant that I had to really, the combination of coming back from this trip, this pilgrimage, and what has changed in me, along with the astrology of this past dark moon. I came home and just realized that there are so many times in my life that I submit to my fawn response as a survival tactic. And for those who don't know, a lot of us grew up hearing about fight or flight response, but actually there's four of them. There's four F's: fight, flight, fawn, and freeze. And so fight or flight, most of us are probably aware of that. But the fawn response is what happens when we feel like we have to make it okay for someone else to maybe treat us badly, or we feel like we have to make it okay for someone else to project on us. And then, of course, the freeze response, which is all too common, is that feeling of, I don't know what to do, so I'm just not going to do anything and hope it goes away. But none of these are actually capable coping mechanisms. Fight, flight, fawn, or freeze, none of them work. Our better nature is to drop into presence, allow what is to be, focus on the situation at hand, stand for what we believe in, be honest and diligent in our responses, and try to remain calm. And that's why a priestess really needs to carry some big cat energy with her. It's no accident that this panther appeared in this card. In this card, it's a black panther. I'll show it around a little bit closer. But there aren't really any living black panthers anymore. the panther now is more the tawny colored cougar or mountain lion. Um, and that is an animal that has recently come to me. I know that it can be really hard, especially as we approach the holidays with family members and friends. A lot of us might feel a little fearful of walking into some conversational landmines. I know that just today, as I was doing the dishes this morning, I was thinking about something. It crossed my mind, and it's so relevant to this card. And I was sort of like giving myself a little healing light. I was thinking about the times when I was a child, when other people would mock me or make fun of me, and I would laugh along with them so that I didn't feel so alone. But I didn't think it was funny. It's not funny. And I think that as I've grown, I've come to learn that if somebody is going to use cruelty, mockery, projection, or otherwise be, you know, insidiously undermining in some way, instead of just being direct and trying to work something out, they just don't really belong in my life or in my circle. I'm a worker outer. I will work it out with anyone. I will muster my power and my courage. I will listen to what someone has to say. They can be as mad as they want. They can be as sad as they want. But what I won't do is participate in my own demeaning anymore. And I hope you won't either. I hope you won't participate in anyone demeaning you today or any day. So today, let's get our big kitty energy together. Let's conjure that powerful panther energy. Let's think about times in our lives when fight, flight, fawn, or freeze was the rule of the day. Let's go back to that moment in meditation and tell our younger selves, I'm here for you. And look what I brought with me, this big panther. You don't have anything to be afraid of. It's okay. And then let's heal deeply from the hostilities and conflicts that maybe we're reminded of in this Scorpio season, or that might be activated in this Scorpio season. Let's be really present for the possibility that none of that works for us anymore, and that we don't need to do that anymore, and that we don't need to be complicit in anyone else's negative story of us anymore. And it doesn't mean that we don't take responsibility if we've messed up or done something. It means that in taking responsibility, we don't beat ourselves up and we don't let someone drag us along behind their ox cart either. Best thing you can do is own it and move on, whether it's you and what you've done, or whether it's your power and someone else trying to take it. Own it and move on. That's our short bit for today, if that's what you're here for. And now let's dive in to Guanyin practice with the one who is literally bulletproof to projections. Guanyin, who loves you anyway, but doesn't take any BS from anybody. Guanyin, who rides on the back of a dragon and so never really needs to get into an argument. 3 prostrations. I think that's where we start, right? 3 prostrations. Let's start. I wish I could say I'd lost weight on this trip. I have to tell you, I ate bread every single day, lots of it unashamedly, and baklava. So now, getting up to do my prostrations, I think I'm bringing a little bit more prostration to the prostration. It's so good to be home. Let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention, a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from today's practice. Oh, and I'm holding quite a few people who have reached out to me in the past few weeks for themselves or for others, people going through some really hard times right now, some surgeries, some illnesses, some emotional and mental challenges, depression. I've received quite a few requests, too many to name everyone over the last month, but I'm holding every single one in my heart right now. And let's recite the four immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. Let's make our offerings. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering to Guan Shi Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Om Ahum. 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 Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind and present clouds of all types of offerings, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guanyin, remain until the end of samsaric existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. Oh, I'm so happy to be back with this mala. My Aisling malas are back on the menu. I'm so grateful. I had a really nice little mala that I brought with me to do little practice here and there while I was traveling. One that Aisling gave me, but she didn't make. But it just feels so good to have the ones back in my hands that she's made. Hers have special energy. All right. 108 recitations of Namo Guanxin Pusa. And we're sending out this mantra for the benefit of all of those who need today a little bit of extra strength to cope in this hostile world. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin 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 Pusa. Feels good in my heart. The Brief Prayer Summoning Prosperity by Ju Mipam Namgyal Gyatso Jamgyal Mipam Rinpoche. Hung Shuksum Sasum Nyakdang Chakye Tu Tenyo Sishi Chayang Getsin Kun Dirkuk Dirdu Pelge Minu Bar Deki Tashi Letso Pelbar Sho. By the power of mantras and mudras of the three jewels and the three roots, may all the good omens, abundance, and prosperity of the animate and inanimate universe, both samsara and nirvana, be summoned and gathered here and expand without ever declining, so that the splendor of happiness, well-being, auspiciousness, and all that is good may blaze forth. Hung shuksum sasum nakdang chake tu tenyo sishi chayang getsen kun dirgu pelge minu par deki tashi lexo pelbar sho. And now 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, calling out to Guanyin and inviting her to visit us in our hearts and help us to really be a source of blessings rather than a source of hostility, projection, or otherwise offensive or negative energy. Let's all sweep our own porch. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's thank our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lamadei Wangmo. Om Sosti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss Yeshe Wangmo be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxiyin Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, a bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. See, just like riding a bicycle. That felt so good. I hope it felt good to you too. We'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you drop your counts in the comments so you can add them. We're almost halfway to 1,000,000 already. Bye. Be back tomorrow.